here. We literally just got the new Eldar Codex. It is 11:38 on Friday night. Chris pre-ordered it on iBooks, and we've got it now, so we're just going to go through it super quick and outline some stuff that jumped out at us. It's not
pretty awesome.
It's not going to be everything that's in here. We are going to miss stuff, but we're just going to go through and give you some really quick first impressions, stuff that changed.
And I love the word awesome. So.
He does love the word awesome. Everything is awesome. So, super quick, they have a Decurion style detachment. It's the Guardian hosts and the Regions of the War host. This is all shit that got leaked already. That hasn't changed. We're not going to touch it. So what we're going to...
Well, did you give them the command trait? Because that wasn't leaked, right?
Yes, where are we here?
That's the one page over. So the command trait is matchless agility.
Right.
And basically, if you take the detachment, everybody runs 6 inches. You don't have to roll.
Automatically. There's no roll. It's always a 6.
So you're going to be fast, man.
So up to 6. You don't have to go 6, which is nice. So past that, everything else is exactly what you'd already seen. There's the individual, what are they called? Aspect warriors. And they get their
like kind of detachments within it.
Yeah,
the
and
chart.
The Wraith host stays the same. It's 1 Spirit Seer, 3 Instant Wraith Guards or Wraith Blades, 1 Wraith Lord, 1 Wraith Knight. Which means if you want to run this detachment in 1850, you're only fitting 1 Wraith Knight ever. So that's over 1,000 points.
Maybe you could make it really cheap for... No, I think it's over... Yeah, you're right.
It's over 1,000. So the equipment stayed mostly the same.
Eldrad's is pretty similar. A lot of special characters are very, very similar.
Yeah.
Maybe slight tweaks, but nothing that sticks out when on first read.
Nothing that jumped out. Then again, none of us are exactly expert Eldar players by any means.
Well, I got second adept kind of team with Eldar. It's not very hard.
Not running any special characters. Wave servants.
That's the thing, right? It's the standard, 40k is a lot of spam sometimes.
Yeah. So autarchs, I believe, stayed exactly the same in this. What do they have here? Yeah, I think they're exactly the same actually.
Yeah, 70 points, which is the same. New kit's really nice. The new model's really nice.
Yeah. Farseers, the only change worth noting in here.
Runes of Farseer.
Yeah, they've got Runes of the Farseer, so each psychic phase, they can reroll any number of dice using the single deny the witch test or psychic test, which also means they can get rid of perils. It explicitly mentions that in the rule, which is nice. But one of the biggest changes that's really potent in the current meta, they cannot summon demons anymore. No more malefic demonology. They only have access to Sanctic, Divination, Runes of Fate, and Telepathy.
Which is really solid change because that Eldar demon army is filthy to the max, or was filthy to the max. So one thing is battle focus is identical, right?
I believe so, yes. Yeah, either shoot and run or run and shoot.
So that's awesome. Awesome. If you take that main detachment, you're guaranteed 6 away. So you can actually plan with our Avengers, be within 18, now you're 24, you really aren't getting charged. That's amazing.
It's very strong.
Very, very cool. I like that a lot. I like mobility.
Past that, they're the same, they're 100 points. Warlocks, I think, are exactly the same again, only Sanctic Demonology.
Yeah, and Runes of Battle. That's it. Sanctic Demonology and Runes of Battle is all there.
Spirit Seers, they've lost the Yandin thing they have. Wraiths in general are not troops anymore. Nick is very sad, but fortunately the other stuff they get balances it out, and we'll get to that. So
that's really good.
They get Sanctic, Runes of Battle, and Telepathy.
I'll just have to buy spikes with scatter lasers.
Yeah, so speaking of which, Guardians, exactly the same in every way.
At 90 points. Storm Guardians are 72.
Yeah, I think they're still the same.
Yeah, you might see more Guardians now if with the Wave Serpent spam, which we'll get to. Maybe you won't take as many Wave Serpents, but from what I'm still gathering, I think the Wave Serpents are still really good with our Avengers in them.
Yep.
So I still like that option, but maybe Guardians will be a bit better now.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Wave Serpents in depth when we get to them, because they're a big thing. So Wind Riders, these are a big thing. They are exactly the same as they were, but
51 points, yeah.
Still 51 points, but any number of them in the unit can take a Scatter Laser or a Shuriken Cannon for 10 points.
Yeah.
So for 27 points a model, you have 3 shots with Wave Storm, or you have 4 shots at Strength 6, AP 6.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, they are every bit as good as they were.
But even like, don't think of that way. Don't run 10 of them. Even 3 of these guys in reserve to hold an objective with 3 Scatter Lasers for the extra 30 points. You're actually coming in and killing something now.
It looks like I actually need troops choices now for my army,
Yeah,
so I think I know what to order.
These are fantastic, right? You get all the advantages. They got a 12-inch move, 36-inch turbo boost. They get the assault move, and at a minimum unit size, you have 9 shots with Blade Storm, or you have 12 shots, Strength 6, AP 6.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you take these guys, minimum squad sizes, you spam them, you have amazing objective control. They're 3+. They have Jink.
I'd have to really look into it. You could potentially do one as a 10-man Death Star and like load it up with characters, and I'd have to really look at the combos with the rest. We haven't really analyzed this, but if you could get some survivable abilities and some psychic powers into that unit, you could make one as a Death Star and then two moving around. Because you know 40 shots at strength 6 is really good.
One thing I love about these, my Hell Turkeys have a job again.
Yeah, kill them.
Yeah. Alright, so moving on from there, Rangers, same.
60 points. Direbender, 65, same.
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
What's battle?
That's for the Exarch only. It's the
Yeah, that's
okay.
involved for the Exarch.
because it's like he's just good in combat.
Yeah.
Cool.
So a lot of the aspect warriors do have some rule changes. It's in their detachments specifically, though, I believe. So we'll get to those. Past that, it's just things for the Exarchs, and those have stayed pretty much the same.
They're pretty much the same. Now, all in all, none of them were terrible choices before. They're all pretty good. It's just they didn't fit in because the Wave Serpent was the obvious good choice. So maybe you'll see more of them now that the obvious choices are a bit diminished. But I know what my obvious choice is already, and we'll get to that. That's the same as before, crack shot. And,
Crack shot.
And they, so assured destruction is a rule on the fire dragons.
Yeah.
And you get +1 modifying on the vehicle damage table. So fire dragons, it is a AP1, so you're +3. So on a 4+, you're basically.
Yeah, you're destroying a vehicle.
Sorry, 5+. No, 4+.
4+.
4+.
Yeah.
So I can't do math, it's really late.
They are exceptionally good now. And they have everything else exactly the same as they used to be.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because we're at Adepticon and a friend of mine, Ricky, picked up, and he has a huge Eldar collection. He picked up like 30 of these guys for a bargain. Lucky. Like, I wanted to get at least 20 of them. I missed out, but
he's laughing.
He made out like a champion.
Yeah.
Because they're probably the best anti-tank unit in the game right now.
Yep.
I would say. +3.
110 points for 5, BS4, Exarch has BS5, and they're popping vehicles on a 4+.
Can be put in Wave Serpents?
Yeah, you can't beat these guys.
You can put them in.
Can you put them in Falcons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mean.
Alright, so Wraith Guard, let's talk about these guys. So by default, they come with a Wraith Cannon, straight up D weapon.
Yeah, there's no modifiers on this.
No
like
modifiers. It is just 12-inch range D, AP2 Assault 1.
Yeah.
No
Hope you roll
caveats.
6s, you microwave your dice, you're gonna kill everything.
Yeah, 0 caveats. D sights, however, do have an adjustment. Instead of being strength 4 AP2 with distort, they're now strength D AP2 with distort scythe, which means they subtract 1 from the D roll, meaning they cannot give you the remove from play result on a 6. And instead of doing D3 wounds on a 2 to 5, they do only do D3 wounds on a 3 to 6.
I'll take that for a toughness 6 model for 32 points.
And now I'm flaming away Space Marines that much easier.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I think you're flaming away everything, tanks.
Are they used to be a 10-point upgrade though, so they
They're
still
still 10
It's
points.
still 10 points, so that puts them up to 42 a model.
Yeah, they're this, yeah.
But that's the same.
Same as they were.
Part of me would rather have the regular strength D, just for that, like, let's say you have 3 of them in Wave Serpents because you're spamming and you're not taking the Fire Dragons. Depends on if you're taking Cat or taking other choices. You jump 15 of those guys out, if one Hance rolls a 6, that flying guy's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 6 spam.
It's going to depend on your meta as well, because one of the big scourges in 40k right now is the Space Wolf Death Star spam, where you have 2 up invulns.
Strength 10's gonna. Sorry, Strength D, 15 shot Strength D is gonna get rid of a lot of that.
Yep, but the D
It's only 12 though, so you're basically flailing in the wind. You're gonna take it really hard and lose, but
the D size don't do shit to it though, right? Because you still get the 2 up, but with the Wraith Cannon, you at least have a chance to get past that and just remove models.
yeah, actually, more I think about it, that's not a good counter because then you're wasting your shots, and if you fail, you're done. So I wouldn't do that.
So these guys are still a super glass cannon. They're still toughness 6, which is great.
Mission
But
4, same as before.
yeah, 1 wound, 3 up save still, no involve option.
No.
So yeah. HG I think stayed the same.
It's something to do with Slash.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
same thing.
They get hatred against Slash. So that's all the same. Anyway, expect to see a lot of these guys. It's a good change. From there we have Wraith Blades, they get Ghost Swords, it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
+1 strength,
these
8,
guys,
3.
they could have made them better because the models are really amazing looking,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
Rage now. What's the Rage?
Rage is +2 attacks on the charge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
But they're still, it's a close combat.
You gotta make
unit
sure
that's like, so would you rather have 5 D shots or would you rather have close combat units +1
for
strength?
sure.
Yeah,
D shots.
Take the D shots.
D is like, stands for dumb for not taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Alright. It'll be okay.
Oh, this
It'll be okay.
this makes me so happy because I play Eldar and I do the Wave Serpent spam. We did, what did we do, 18 Wave Serpents in our Adepticon 4-man team army. And this makes me so happy because even though I love my broken army, this makes me happy. So what do the Wave Serpents do?
So Wave Serpents, exactly the same stat line, BS4, 12, 12, 10, 3 hull points. Still get the Shuriken Cannon, so the Shuriken Catapult. Still Serpent Shields, but Serpent Shields now, they get rid of your pens on a 2+ for front and side, which I think is a change. It used to be all sides.
Yeah, it used to be all, that's even irrelevant, but now you get it.
So you get it. But instead of being 60-inch, strength 6, no
strength
7,
no AP, ignores cover D6.
Yeah, it's now 24-inch range, strength 6, AP dash, assault 2d6, so more shots.
Yeah.
Ignores cover, strike down. But what does this line say?
One use only.
One use only. And when you use it,
you lose your shield.
You lose your shield.
But it's still good. Like your first, like that's like it took a really really good thing and just made it a little bit worse. And we should add in that the scatter laser is no longer twin link the rest of the tank.
Yeah, they don't get laser lock anymore.
So quite frankly, it's where it should be.
Yeah.
I honestly don't feel any.
So just take the Wave Serpents and throw them.
No, I think they're still good.
These things are good.
I think they're still good.
Tough as nails to kill. They are exactly what
and they're going to have their shield because before, unless I was going second or unless it was something that's really nasty, like some of those Bane Blades and things like that, I would use my shield every turn. Yeah. Whereas now I'm getting my shield, so my guys are more survivable.
Yeah.
But I'm not killing as much.
Yeah. So, I just got them to truck around.
And in an objective game where these can score now, they're still just as good.
Yep. Yeah. They're
Don't be fooled. Anybody that, if a guy in your club comes in and goes, "Oh, Wave Serpents, they suck now. I shouldn't have bought 8 of them," just hit him with a bat.
Yeah. Done. They are still the best transport in the game, I think, bar none. But they are no longer the best tank in the game.
I like Land Raiders.
That's good.
Yeah. I think these guys. Just kidding. I think these guys are well balanced now. I think this is a great change.
Did Holofields change? We don't know. We'll have to go to that.
Holofields, I don't believe so. I think they're still just the +1. We'll get to it in the equipment though.
Okay. Swooping Hawks, pretty much the same.
I think they're exactly the same. We'll get to the detachments.
I think these little things, if we go through all the details, it's going to be a bit much. We just want, the main guys are the Wraith Knights and the Shining Spears are similar.
So with that in mind, let's get to the crazy shit here.
I love the Vipers are similar, all that Crimson Hunter.
Vipers are pretty much the same. So we got the
Hemlock. I think that changed. They gave it a master. It was a Mastery 1 before, wasn't it?
It has 2 heavy D sights now. Is one of the big things.
So 2 strength DAP, 2 assault, 1 blast.
Yeah. So
but it's distort, so it's -1.
It's distort sight, so it's the -1, but it is D blasts, but it's not large blast at least. So there's that. But these things are mastery level 2, which is pretty nice for them. They have Spirit Stones. But what do we have here? Mind Shock. Okay, so it's all the same.
Yeah.
Again, Sanctic, Runes of Battle, Telepathy. We'll get to the Psychic Powers because we have the cards here as well. Dark Reapers, I think, are still very similar.
Yep.
Okay, support batteries.
Falcons, I love it. So squadrons of 3 now.
You were reading through these?
Oh, I didn't know the Falcons did too much. It
wasn't a squadron before, was it?
No,
Was it just because
Rangers just kind of started the army, but basically Falcons now, I think the biggest change is you can take them in squadrons of 3.
And if you do, they deep strike and don't scatter. You place one and they all go in.
Special rule.
Which isn't amazing, but I just think it's cool.
Yeah. This Falcon squadron contains 3 models. All models gain deep strike special rule. And when they arrive at deep strike, the first Falcon place does not scatter, and the second and third are placed within 4 inches.
It's good in mirror matches.
So now your stuff. Fire dragons can be exactly where you want them to be.
That's the thing. You could put 3 units of fire dragons in your 3 falcons that are 1 squadron. On 1 reserve roll, they come in. 15 fire dragons jump out, shoot, and then run. And then those things, they still have their pulse lasers, right?
Yep.
And that's the same as before. Strength 9 lance, right?
Strength 8, 82, heavy 2.
Huh. It wasn't a lance before, was it? I can't remember.
No,
I didn't use them in the last 2
editions. The Bright Lance is still the same though.
Sorry, Bright Lance. Pulsar was strength 9 though, 2 shots, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We could be wrong with that, but
anyways, it's cool tank.
Good.
Definitely might order
375 points for 3 that come in.
3 tanks.
Come with a Shrieking Cannon.
Yeah.
And Pulse Laser and Twin Link Shuriken.
You could give them Bright Lances. You could really come in behind a Night Titan and just kill it. You could come in behind a Warhammer and kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely pull that shenanigans.
I don't know if it's worth it, but I'm really torn because I'm like, that's 375 points and then 3 into Fire Dragons. That's like a major point investment for 1 target that might just get wiped out.
That depends on your meta though.
But it's cool.
Because these things...
The rule of cool.
And before, Wraith Knights were hogging all your heavy support slots.
Yeah.
And with the fact that they're only taking 1, and even like when you're taking a different force org chart, but you know, the Wraith Knights, if you bought 3 of these guys, you might be disappointed. But
if you bought just 1.
Just gonna double check the camera real quick. The Falcons, I think with these guys, if you're running East Coast especially, Adelance is still pretty popular for the turns that haven't banned it, which is not many. Yeah, there's your answer.
And maybe you wouldn't spam all fire dragons. Maybe 1 unit of fire dragons, 2 Star Avengers, or something.
You can do a number of things. Yeah.
So anyway,
Or some Wraith. Oh no, they can't.
You can't put the Wraith Guardian, no, because they're
which is actually really good. A lot of people were worried about that. Just having these guys come in, you have these sites pop out and wipe out squads.
Yeah.
You can't fit them.
even 6 Star Avengers coming out that close to you is a lot of shots.
Well, it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. All
And
right.
you don't have to be that close. You can be 18 away and then run away.
So moving on, Night Spinner I think is exactly the same.
Yeah, it was a shame because Night Spinner. You can have squadrons of 300 points. I don't think you're gonna see too many of them. Could be
Yeah,
wrong.
they're still barrage, strength 7, AP6.
They didn't do anything.
There was one person that made good use of them last year, I think, at a tournament. That was about it.
Warlockers.
Well, everything's like good. It's just what's optimal, what you're gonna take, what you want to buy. Like, you know what I mean? If you don't like the way the Falcon looks, you're not gonna buy 3 of them. Like, it is what it is.
By Wraith Guard.
Warwalkers, I think, are exactly the same.
Yeah,
They
but
just
of course
got
you're not gonna
free.
get the before you take the 2 scatter lasers,
Yeah.
and you would shoot one first on all 3 of them, and then you twin link the
I
rest
don't
of
know. I
them.
kind of like the fact that now the scatter laser isn't just an auto include.
Yep.
I like that you can have other things.
Yeah, because you want to have further range
Well, I
for
hated
one less
all
shot.
lanes.
I hated when I started Eldar because I started Eldar because I wanted to do a Wraith army and everybody would always tell me, oh, so you're doing 4 wave serpents. It's like, well, I don't want to do 4 wave serpents, but now.
Well, I still want the 4 waves.
Alright. Moving on, Fire Prisms. These guys are exactly the same. Yeah, they get Link Fire, they already got that. Okay, same.
It's all the same.
Wraith Lord.
It's a shame because they could have made this guy. So now he's not competing for the heavy sports slots with the Wraith Knight again, but he's still relatively the same. He's 120 points, which I feel it's a little bit better now that the Wraith Knight went up in points. Spoiler. It's a shame. You have to take one of them if you're taking the special formation.
Yeah.
It's just like I kind of wanted squadrons of Wraith. That was kind of my personal wish list.
I think
didn't
my
get,
biggest disappointment is losing the ability to take Wraith Guard as troops. But I can understand that
You
if
don't-
they're
it's
deep
not-
size.
but the new formations, this whole troop thing is not what it used to be. It's
Yeah.
different now. Everything's different.
Yeah.
So now we're going to the Wraith Knight for
So-
it went up what 40 points.
55 points, yeah.
It was what 245 before, wasn't it?
240, I think. Anyway, somewhere around there. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Internet, or one of you guys. Gargantuan creatures, do they have close combat D attacks normally?
No.
Alright, because I was looking through the profile. So, what that means.
Well, they might.
I
I don't think they do that. They have the stomp that is.
They have Stomp that is, for sure. But, so everyone's worried these guys have range D and close combat D. They still have D on the Stomp. But, the Ghost Glaive is still only strength +1.
Yeah, so you gotta look at these guys basically jump, same as before, and they're a gargantuan creature instead of a monstrous creature, so you can look that up if you want to prove us wrong.
Which is good, they're so huge.
Their Wraith Cannons are Strength D AP2,
Yep, with no caveats on the
Assault
D.
1, no caveats,
Just
so
straight up D.
which is similar to what they are before, but
here we go.
significantly better.
Okay, so they have a special rule that makes their Ghost Glaive strength D, so they are still close combat D. But,
If you give them the Sword of Vault.
if you get the sort of, well, they already have that. It's a special rule.
Yeah, no, but you need
You need the Ghost Glaive.
to equip Ghost Clay so you lose the
So you
range
use the range
D.
cannons. Yeah.
So you have 1 Wraith Knight, so it's either range or close combat D.
Yeah. So,
You can do one weapon of each, right?
no. It's Ghost
They
Glaive,
change both for
both
Ghost
for a
Glaive.
single one.
So Ghost Clay Scatter Shield and then Star Cannon.
Sun Cannon.
And Sun Cannon is, I
Yeah,
think.
but you're right,
the
it's a
same.
special
It's
rule.
like a blast,
Yeah.
So if this model is equipped with the Ghost okay, sorry,
Yeah.
you guys were reading that.
Yeah.
So if it is equipped with the Ghost Glaive, it is close combat, but then it has no shooting
So it's
D.
either range D or close combat D.
But ITC, they ban range D, so you would almost, if you're playing ITC, you'd almost always upgrade with the
Yeah.
Ghost Glaive.
They're looking to change their rule set. There's going to be a poll coming out soon. Reese was talking about that today on their latest podcast. Expect to see some changes around that, but the key thing here is you're only ever going to see one because they're Lord of War. So if you're playing ITC, there's only one. If you're playing almost any tournament, there's only one of these guys.
And if you're not playing tournament play, and the guy does have 3 of them, it's still 900 points, which is worth it, but any point you can take away from the rest of the army, like what's that, 120 points less Eldar, that's a wave, one less wave serpent the guy's getting. So I got beat with my Chaos Head tournament, the guy had the same thing, spam 3 of them, but it's just one less wave serpent to deal with now.
Yep.
I like that, right?
And these guys are still 3-up save. They can feel no pain because they're a gargantuan creature now, but grab,
Which is awesome.
you're going to take one of these off every turn if you have multiple grab weapons.
Yeah.
So when you're on 3s, re-rolling, it doesn't get any save except Feeling No Pain, which is a 5-up. You're gonna get, these guys are still very killable. Toughness 8 is still a bitch to deal with, don't get me wrong, but they're workable.
But at least now too,
So how would you
you're going to equip them.
Chris?
Well, normally we used to equip them with no other weapons, just plain, as cheap as possible, no upgrades. But now, I'd be really tempted to actually give it the 2 scatter lasers and the Ghost Blade and Scatter Shield.
Yeah.
I'd be
That
very
gives it a
tempted.
5+ involved scatter shield.
Yeah, because then it gets a 5+ involve, it gets a D close combat attack, and then it actually gets to shoot as well. It's kind of tough though, because having 2 D shots, and what's the range on that? 24?
Wraith cannons, they're pretty far, 36.
36? Actually, 2 D shots at 36 is gold.
Yeah, you're probably...
It's a choice now. We'll leave it at that. It's a choice.
Yeah. So I think you're still going to see these. You're going to see 1.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that though. I would rather fight one of these with D weapons than 3.
Yeah, it's like fighting a Night Titan kind of with the D stomp. It has stomp too. But
Yeah,
it's a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's a cheap. It's still. I think it's undercosted for what it is, but still, I'd rather fight 1 than 3.
So that's the thing is, it with the Wave Serpents getting worse. The Wave Serpents getting significantly worse takes away a lot of the long range punch from that army, which means maybe they need it picked up a little bit in combat. I don't know for sure, but that's what I kind of think about.
Alright. So let's talk about the Avatar. I think he's still the same.
Yeah, weapon skill 10, bliss skill 10. He still has his melt a shot, right?
Maybe.
He's a demon. He has battle focus. Ancient Doom, he has the Wailing,
Wailing
which is
Doom
his
is
melt a
also
shot.
melt shot.
He looks about the same. Kane Awaken, which basically gives everybody fearless within 12 inches, so
Fearless
same.
Rage.
Now the problem is he's a Lords of War monstrous creature, which is a shame, because now you're going to see less of him.
And you didn't see much of him anyway, mind you, but...
Well, yeah, but as an HQ, if you took like a Guardian Horde, which I know isn't optimal for tournament play, but it's cool. Anybody that played 3rd edition played a lot of Avatar in every army, and it was cool, so I have a hangover from like 3rd and 4th edition.
I don't think you're ever going to see this guy over a rate night these days, though.
195 points. It depends. I'd have to really analyze the chart. If I could have both in and it made a difference.
So they're both Lords of War, though.
You can't take 2 if you take regular Warhammer. Well,
If you
it depends what your
take
tournament
out
is,
of the
right?
book,
Like it depends what tournament you're doing.
Yeah.
Like maybe my tournament I'll allow you to take. No, I'm not going to. We do ITC.
Alright, so we'll go through the different battle hosts super quickly. Guardian battle host. Chris, want to go through the special rules here?
Okay, so you have to take 1 Farseer, 3 units of Guardians, 1 Viper, 1 Warwalker, 1 Vol's Wrath support battery. And you have to take a 0 to 1 Warlock Conclave. You don't have to take one. They get our time of need. Units of Guardian Defenders from this formation can take heavy weapons platform at no points cost. So you get the free heavy weapon.
Reasonable.
That's reasonable.
And this is the main thing you have to take. If you
Vols
take
might. Yeah, this is like the 1+. Vipers, Warwalkers with Vol's Wrath support battery from this formation gain preferred enemy. That's
within 12 inches of Guardians?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So it's all focused around Guardians. So that's pretty solid. It's a cool one.
It's reasonable choices.
Windrider Host.
Alright, Windrider host. You've got 1 Farseer, 1 Warlock Conclave, 3 units of Windriders, and a Viper Squadron. Restriction, the Farseer has to be upgraded to a Skyrunner. Makes sense. All models in the Warlock Conclave have to have Skyrunners. Special rule, Tempest of Blades, once per game, as long as the Farseer hasn't been removed, the Eldar player can use this. All Shuriken weapons get shredded. And that's it, that's all.
It's awesome, rerolled them.
So, you want to go on the Guardian Storm host there?
Guardian Storm Host. Okay, so that formation's 1 Farseer, 3 units of Storm Guardians, a Viper Squadron, unit of Warwalkers, a Vol's Wrath support battery, 0 to 1 Warlock Conclave. Their special rules are
Should be pretty much the same except for this one.
up to 2 Guardians in each unit in this formation may exchange their close combat weapons and shuriken pistols for flamers or fusion guns at no points cost.
Awesome.
Reasonable.
And then the close support, Vipers, Warwalkers, and Vol's
Preferred
Wrath.
enemy.
Yeah, so it's like the same as before, it's just instead of getting a free heavy weapon, you get 2 free assault weapons.
Alright. Seer Council, 2 Farseers, 1 Warlock Conclave. You can replace the Farseers with Eldrad. Warlock Conclave has to have 5 models, and you have to be Skyrunners. They get Psychic Bond, which is Farseers have to join the Conclave and can't leave it. Path of the Seer, they get different Warlord traits table. I won't go through all of it here. See if there's anything super jumps out here. No scattering on Deep Strike, +3 on Run.
So you already have to take
Scout.
Yeah, this one's kind of meh. Psychic Might might change that.
Psychic Might. Oh yeah, this is a good one. They harness Warp Charge on 3+ instead of 4+.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually huge.
That's really
That
cool.
is
The other
awesome.
thing
That is
reduces
awesome.
the warp cost by 1. So
Yeah, there's an item that reduces warp cost by 1. Just
Aspect Host.
The Aspect Host is pretty cool. You can have 3 units of any of the aspects: Dark Reapers, Warp Spiders, all that good stuff. They get Rites of Battle, which is immediately after determining Warlord traits, choose either Weapon Skill or Ballistic Skill. All units in this formation add 1.
Yeah, so those fire.
So if you put 3
on Tuesday,
yeah, that's actually really good.
that's brutal.
But even like Dire Avengers hitting on
Twos. That's
And
disgusting.
they sell Blade Storm.
6 of them times 3 coming in, or even like 10s of them. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That deserves awesome for that one.
That is pretty cool.
And then Shrine Keepers, if you've read the book, you know they keep their shrine, it's awesome. Mobs from this formation can reroll failed morale and pinning and fear checks. I'll take that. I'll take it. +1 ballistic skill or weapon skill and rerolling that. That's my new favorite. That's my new favorite one.
Yeah, the aspect works is pretty good. Okay, so Dire Avengers specifically, 3 units of Dire Avengers. Only one formation can have an Exarch. Once per game of shooting phase, they get Killing Strike. For duration of that phase,
That's so
their Shuriken Catapults or Assault 3 instead of 2. Not bad. Rights of the Avenger, they add +1 to their ballistic skill.
Oh, that's his new favorite.
Yeah. And then Shrine Keepers, same as the last
Well, I
one.
love Dire Avengers because if you've ever read, I think it's Gav Thorpe's book, the novel on the Path of the Warrior, they talk about the shrines of like the Dire Avengers and Striking Scorpions and stuff. It's really cool read how they do that, and this is so out of the fluff. They have their one Exarch and all his little training underlings, and they're all better together. That's really awesome.
Next one's Crimson Death. Formation is 3 Crimson Hunters. The special rules are preferred enemy.
For flyers.
Flyers and flying monstrous creatures. So I guess that's good for your flyer army.
Yeah, you're a flyer.
Yeah.
That's good. Alright, Wraith Host. This is the one everyone's concerned about. It's 1 Spirit Seer, 3 units of Wraith Guard, a Wraith Lord, and a Wraith Knight. So this is basically like 1,000 points, right?
You have to take, so it's at least 15, 16, 17, 18 models for this formation, and there are no sub-ins. It's like you have to take that.
You have to take these. So Battle Focus is the same as always, except you get it on your Wraiths.
Well, they didn't have that before,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool.
Well, they could get it in the Iandian book with like some Warlord traits and stuff.
Yeah.
So, Wraith Guard, Wraith Blades, Wraith Lords, Wraith Knights. Reroll failed to hit rolls against enemy units that are within 18 inches of the Spirit Seer.
So if you're playing against this, you kill the Spirit Seer as fast as possible.
Yes, sir.
You just pick him and he dies. Seriously.
Can you still put them in Wave Serpents?
It's good because I like that they put in the Wraith Lord,
Well, yeah.
because it forces you to take them.
Normal for them.
And I remember back in 3rd edition, the Wraith Lord was one of my favorite units in the game, and so it's really good that they
I might
force you
do
to do
that one.
Oh, lost our spot here.
Because otherwise, like right now, it's like, oh well, the Wraith Lord's going the way of the Dodo Bird, but now he's back in, which I think like you're gonna see him now.
Because I might do that.
Him and his buddy here, his big brother, little brother. They're gonna run up the boat.
So that's everything we got there. We're not going to go through Warlord traits. Let's see if there's any weapons that jump out here as being different. I think most of them are pretty much the same, except for what we covered.
Yeah, sorry, we literally just got our hands on it. We did a quick read through as a group.
Oh yeah, Hollow Fields did change. So they line up with the Dark Eldar one now.
You just get a 5+ invulnerable
5
save.
plus invuln and more +1.
Unless you're immobilized. But you get it all the time, right? You don't have to move.
So you don't have +1 cover anymore?
No.
So your Jinx only have 4 up now.
They're still good. For a 5 up, I think I'd still. How many points is it? I'd still take
Hollow
it.
Field's like 5 points or 10 points or something.
I would still take it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's good.
Because you're
Okay.
getting rid of penetrating hits,
Look,
like
at
2+,
this point, if
and
it
then
means
you're.
that people will shut up every time I mention Eldar about the, that's good enough for me.
I think just different units are going to be good. It's still going to be a powerhouse army, obviously.
Well,
But not
especially
nearly
the
what it
Wind
used to.
Riders.
This
and
reminds me a lot
Skyriders.
more of Eldar back in 3rd edition. You're going to start seeing Aspect Warriors again, I
Right.
hope. But yeah, I think it's going to take a lot more finesse. It's not just going to be point and click.
Well, it took finesse before, from my experience.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I guess.
Yeah.
We got the cards.
So I think the only thing we have to talk about on the cards, let me just pull it up here, is one of the new abilities, which I think everyone's heard about, Eldritch Storm. It's either Warp Charge 3 or 4. For the Warp Charge 3, it is Strength 3, AP 3, Fleshbane, Haywire, Large Blast, Pinning. Pretty fucking good.
So if you do -1 and you do it on a 3+, you're gonna get that off every time.
Yep. And then there's the Warp Charge 4 version, which is Strength 3, AP 3, Fleshbane, Haywire, Pinning, Apocalyptic Blast.
That's gross. That's a Warp Charge 4.
Yeah, so if you take that with the combo, you're
So you make
harnessing on
3 of
3s
them?
with 3 pluses.
So if you make 3, if you take it, you make it a 3 you would need 6 dice to do it
Yep.
reliably on a 3+. If you take that formation.
So this thing is wiping out Marines by the dozen.
And
Wiping out
with
Wraith
haywire,
Guard by the dozen.
tanks,
And tanks, yep.
it's good damage. It's gonna basically you put that haywire blaster and damage the
So
guys
now you
below.
need the Farseer on bike with that.
Well, plus and just the threat of that alone forces people to spread their armies out.
Yep. And I think pretty much all the other stuff is stayed just about the same. Excuse me.
It's pretty
Yeah, I think the
close.
rest is the same.
Anything to add then to this, or?
Attack objectives.
I think we're pretty
I
good.
think that's it.
Thanks
Someone's
for
not-
joining us for this quick overview of the Eldar Codex. Hope you enjoyed it, and when you get it, let us know what you think. I guess thank you from the One Plus Armor crew and Canhammer Chris from the Canhammer
Plus
podcast.
Chris.
One plus Chris.
One Plus Chris.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Sweet. Alright, you guys fucking owe me.
Yeah, I'm gonna get